This presentation will explain one technique to prepare a plan to satisfy your Penn State degree requirements, and then explain how to fill out a USACC Form 104-R, Planned Academic Program Worksheet. Students attending other colleges may be able to use this technique using their school's resources. Unless otherwise noted, these instructions apply to students attending the University Park campus. To complete the United States Army Cadet Command Form 104-R, commonly called the 104R, you will need these items. I recommend that you contact the Recruiting Operations Office to get a copy of the 104R that has some common Penn State specific information already filled in. However, this presentation will assume that you have a blank 104R. You must use the PDF version of the 104R dated September 2013 or later. Earlier versions use an Excel file that does not calculate the credit hours the same way. Only use the current PDF version. You also need to access the University Bulletin at the URL shown on the screen, and I'll show you how to access your particular Penn State recommended academic plan later on in this presentation. The 104R is a 3-page document. The first page includes your administrative data and the first part of your academic plan. This example includes the common information used by all cadets attending Penn State Army ROTC, with the dates for those who will graduate in May of 2019. The second page has the remainder of your academic plan and a certification section. The last page is a statement of understanding between you and the professor of military science that you will complete the requirements for a particular degree. The Penn State website includes all the information that you need to complete your plan. The University Bulletin allows you to look up degree requirements, course descriptions, general education requirements, and Bachelor of Arts degree requirements. On the right side of each University Bulletin page, there are links to the Bachelor of Arts degree requirements and each category of the general education requirements, as well as a lookup for individual course descriptions. Here's an example of the Army classes offered at Penn State. From any University Bulletin page, you can click on the leftmost menu item labeled University Course Description, then the first letter of the course. An alphabetical listing of course subjects that begin with that letter will appear on the left side of the page. Click on a course subject, like Army, to see all the courses under that course subject. By clicking on a course number, you can get more details about that specific course. A later slide will show an example of such a page. Penn State requires all students seeking a baccalaureate degree to take 45 credits of general education courses. Every student must take a certain number of credits within each category to complete the general education or Gen Ed requirement. The Move 3 option allows you to take 3 fewer credits in one area, either arts, humanities, social and behavioral sciences, or natural sciences, and take 3 additional credits in another, either arts, humanities, social behavioral sciences, natural sciences, or health and wellness. In addition, you must take 2 diversity classes, one class designated as U.S. Cultures, and another class designated as International Cultures. A class for your major, a Gen Ed, or a BA class that is also designated as a diversity class can double count toward both requirements, like the class shown on the next slide. During your freshman year, you must take a first-year seminar like PSU 006. Other first-year seminars have an S, T, or X at the end of the course number. This is an example of a course description in the University Bulletin. Below the class description, in the notes section, as indicated within the red oval on this slide, will show you what general education, diversity, and/or Bachelor of Arts requirement the course will satisfy, if any. In this example, the class may fulfill multiple requirements. However, one class cannot count for both a general education and a Bachelor of Arts requirement. This class may also satisfy either a US or IL requirement, but not both. Therefore, this course could count for 2 requirements, either the general education and 1 diversity class, or the BA requirement in one diversity class. This page should also tell you if you need a prerequisite or concurrent course in order to take this course. This particular course is also one of the 9 that counts toward the ROTC military history requirement, which is covered next. One of the requirements to be commissioned is a professional military education or PME course in military history. Penn State Army ROTC has identified 9 courses, any one of which will satisfy the military history course requirement. 5 of these courses also count toward Penn State's general education requirement. We highly recommend taking one of these classes. Penn State offers a 26-credit military studies minor comprised of 20 credits of ROTC classes plus 6 additional credits. All the PME classes count toward the minor, and many of the classes for the minor also count as Gen Eds. If you can work it into your plan, History 454, American Military History, is worth considering. However, you must take a prerequisite class, either History 20 or History 21 first. Penn State has created a semester-by-semester plan for most, if not all, majors. These plans have put any and all courses with prerequisites in the proper order. These plans greatly simplify your work to develop your 104R. The link on this slide will take you to the home page for all recommended academic plans. If you cannot locate this link later on, go to the Penn State homepage and search DUS Plans, and the first result will be this link. This is the recommended academic plans homepage. If you are starting at University Park, pick your college under University Park Colleges. If you're starting at another campus, click on your campus's name under either Commonwealth Campus Colleges or University College. Find your major, with option if necessary, to bring up your recommended academic plan. Save a copy of the plan and print out a copy to write on. Use the plan as a worksheet to record your choices of classes. Even after you've completed the 104R, you can change the specific classes later as long as the new class or classes satisfy a degree requirement and the change does not create any conflicts or delays in graduation because you violated the sequence of classes for those with prerequisites. First, mark the classes that you have completed or have scheduled. Next, write in names where they are not specified. Because History 130 is one of the PMEs, mark it PME, GH, and US to quickly identify the requirements this class satisfies. You will note that on the 104R as well. In this case, a student in this major needs to take either Poli-Sci 3, 20, or 22, preferably in the second semester. Select one if you have such a choice. Then, determine classes for the second semester and any not scheduled or taken in the first. Use the University Bulletin to look up your options for Gen Eds. Look at the remaining semesters. First, where you have choices for required classes, pick one. Be careful not to select the same one twice. In this example, the choices in semesters 5 and 7 are the same. In the end, someone taking this major will take 2 of the 4 classes. Some majors will have a list of classes to choose from for certain requirements. These classes may be listed on the following pages of the recommended plan or on the college's or major's website. For this example, the political science supporting courses and the geography, history, economics supporting courses are listed on the second page of the recommended plan. However, the website goes into greater detail about how these supporting courses are divided into different groups and how many credits from each group is required. Next, select any remaining Gen Eds. Remember, you need a total of 45 credit hours divided amongst the different categories. If you're pursuing a BA degree, select up to 24 credits in BA classes. You must obtain 12th credit level proficiency in a foreign language. or the third course in the series of language courses. If you test out of a course, you will not receive credit for the class. You just take the next level language class and schedule other classes to make up those credits not taken by that language class or classes that you tested out of. For example, if you test out of Spanish 1, you just need to take Spanish 2 and 3. You will then schedule another class or two to make up the 4 credits that Spanish 1 would have used. Most majors will count some required classes as gen eds as well. While many majors will use ROTC for elective credits, some majors, like most engineering majors, apply ROTC credits to specific requirements. For example, mechanical engineering counts 6 credits of ROTC in lieu of 3 credits of health and wellness, and 3 ROTC credits for the general technical elective, or GTE requirement. Therefore, you can cross off the health and wellness classes and 1 GTE class off your worksheet. Army 401 and 402 will count instead. Electives are any course not expressly designated for your major. Use Army classes to first minimize your credit load. Start with Army 402 in the last semester that has electives and work backwards. Write in Army 402, then 401, 302, 301, 204, 203, 102, and 101 if you have that many electives available. The Army 100 and 200 level classes are 2 credits each. The 300 and 400 level Army classes are 3 credits each. Now, you should have a specific class for each degree requirement. You will use these selections to fill out your 104R semester by semester. Notice that the first semester on the example worksheet we filled out has English 15, PSU 6, Poli-Sci 14, Spanish 1, and History 130. These would appear on the first semester on the 104R, like on the following example. Notice that each semester starts with the Army class, then lists the classes from the worksheet. The first semester has Army 101, English 15, PSU 6, Poli-Sci 14, Spanish 1, and History 130, like our example academic plan. The remaining semesters are filled out with the classes written down on the recommended academic plan worksheet. The last 4 semesters are recorded on the second page of the 104R. Now, let's look at the 104R block by block. Again, I recommend that you get a copy of the 104R that has some of the common information already filled in from the Recruiting Operations Office. Page 1 begins with your basic information. You will leave blocks 6 and 8 blank for now. Notice the form number and date in the bottom left. It must be dated September 2013 or later. For block 1, enter your name, last, first, then middle initial. In block 2, put your major and, if you have one, your option. This will make checking your 104R easier. Place the option name in parentheses, and you may abbreviate that as necessary. You can leave block 2A blank if you do not know the CIP code for your major. Enter the date that you worked on the 104R in block 3. Update this block every time so you know if you're using your most current version of your 104R. Here is block 4 completed for a University Park student. An Altoona student would enter Penn State Altoona for the academic school and check the box for Extension Center. Leave 4B host school as the Pennsylvania State University and 4C host FICE as 003329. Block 5 is likely the most important part of the 104R. The number of semesters determined by the form will influence your contract or scholarship benefits. To obtain the number of credits for your degree, go to the University Bulletin and click on Baccalaureate Programs in the menu. Then, like looking up a course, click on the first letter of the name of the degree, then select the degree from the alphabetical list on the left side of the page. Toward the end of the degree description, the minimum number of credits will be noted. Enter this into 5A. For Block 5A1, most students will take 20 credits of ROTC. If your major specifically states that only X number of credits may count toward your degree, take 20 and subtract X. In this example, only 6 credits count, thus 20 minus 6 equals 14 for Block 5A1. Review your worksheet and count how many credits of ROTC you used for electives and subtract that number from 20. For 5B, only enter the number of credits taken at a Penn State campus and that count toward your degree other than as an elective. For 5C, enter the number of transfer and AP credits that count toward your degree other than as an elective. Do not enter or add your transfer credits and AP credits into the number for 5B. This is the most common mistake on this part of the form. If you add the transfer and AP credits to 5B, the program will double count these credits and you could lose a semester or more of benefits. Once you enter the data into these 4 blocks, the form will calculate the number of semesters you have remaining to complete your degree and display that number in 5E. For incoming freshmen, this number should be 8 or 9. If 5E shows 9 semesters, then go back and add 3 to the number in 5A1. You will need to take Army 496 in your 9th semester. Most engineers and some other majors will be authorized 9 semesters of benefits. Section 7 is where you enter the specific classes that you will take for each semester. We want each row to be 1 full school year. The blocks should read fall, spring, summer across the page. You cannot project any future summer classes even if you plan to take summer classes at your own expense. The only exception is required internships. Leave the space open so that if you do take a summer class, you can update your 104R afterwards without needing to rewrite the whole plan. Looking at an individual semester on the 104R, the top line has the semester, fall, spring, or summer, and the 2 or 4-digit year. Under NO number, enter the letter number combination of the course number. If necessary, remove the space between the letters and numbers and use lowercase letters like GOSI 002 in the example so it can be read. If the course number is too long, Adobe will place a large plus sign that will make it unreadable once printed. Under the course title, first enter all Gen Ed, Diversity, BA, and or PME requirements in parentheses, then enter the course name. The course name can be abbreviated or truncated since the course number is legible and can be looked up on the University Bulletin. Only include the Gen Ed, Diversity, BA, or PME requirements until those requirements are satisfied. The column HRS hours is the number of credit hours for each course per the university. Again, the 100 and 200 level Army classes are 2 credits each. The 300 and 400 level classes are 3 credits each. The column CTS is the number of credits that count toward your degree. Think of CTS as counts. If you're an engineer major, Army 101 through 302 and Army 496 will count as 0, and Army 401 and 402 will count as 3 each. Once you are done, check your plan by adding up the total credits under hours plus transfer credits. This should equal the number in 5A2. The total number of counts plus any transfer credits in Block 5C should equal the number in 5A. You may be 1 or 2 over, but if you are 3 or more over, you likely added an unnecessary class. If your total is less than 5A, your plan is missing something. Review and compare your worksheet in 104R. Here's page 1 for a business major. Note how the general education, PME, US, and IL classes are marked in paragraphs 7D and 7E, the first and second semesters of his second year. Here's an example of page 1 for an engineering major. Note that the gen eds are marked, but all the Army classes on this page have 2 under hours and 0 under counts. Since Block 5E authorizes 9 semesters, this engineering student added an additional semester with Army 496 and 4 gen ed classes. The student moved 4 gen ed classes from their junior and senior years and added it to this last semester. In Block 9, enter BA or BS and the name of your degree. You do not need to add the option name. Also enter the month and year of your graduation. Sign and date blocks 10 and 11 after your advisor sign and dates blocks 12 and 13. In the block for your name, put your last, first, and middle initial, or just copy what you put down in page 1. Enter the Pennsylvania State University where it has name of university or college. For type of degree, simply copy the information out of block 9 and place it in this block here on page 3. Once you print your form out, you may sign page 3, but do not date it unless the RU or your military science instructor tell you otherwise. Print the 104R on 3 separate pages. That way, if you have to make a minor change like entering your grades or your GPA, you will not need to have your advisor sign the updated form every semester. You can change your selection of courses as long as you continue to make satisfactory academic progress. That means you are taking classes that count for your degree and you'll graduate by the date specified in your ROTC contract. If you change a class, the new class must meet the requirement that the original one satisfied, or meets a requirement that you plan to satisfy in a future semester. For example, if you plan to take InArt 205 to meet one of your GA required classes, but it is full, you can either swap it for a different GA class, or you can switch it for a class that you plan to take later. Be careful not to miss any prerequisite classes. Some classes only meet once a year, and if you miss the class, you will delay your graduation by an entire year. Before taking your 104R to have your advisor review it and sign it, have your military science instructor review your 104R to make sure all the administrative data is correct. If you're on campus during the summer and your instructor is not available, contact the RU office. If you change your plan, you will need to update your 104R and have your advisor check and sign the revised form. By following these steps, you should have a 104R that is satisfactory the first time, or be very close to a viable plan. Good luck.